It's time now for Ask the Expert. Two cold weather bugs, the flu and norovirus, are going around lately and can be difficult to tell apart, and we've seen it here in this newsroom.
We certainly have. So joining us live this afternoon is Dr. Jennifer McKinnon with the Medical College of Wisconsin. I imagine if you have either one of these, you feel miserable, but do you really want to know which one it is?
Yeah. Really, you don't need to come into the doctor's office to tell them apart. There are some differences. Both are essentially one the stomach flu and one the respiratory flu or the influenza. So the stomach flu is norovirus. That's the one that's definitely had a high reporting by the CDC here in Wisconsin this season. That's the one with the GI illness or the vomiting that's almost projectile, loose stools and diarrhea. Whereas the influenza or respiratory flu is much more high temperatures, congestion, a cough. You might have some nausea and vomiting with that one, but not really the diarrhea. That's going to point much more to the stomach flu or norovirus.
When I think of the norovirus, I always think of cruise ships and elementary schools.
Yeah.
How is this passed around so easily?
Right. It is the one we hear about on the cruise ships, nursery schools, nursing homes, any closed workplace is a risk for this. But it is the most common GI bug or gastrointestinal bug. So even though we hear about it on the cruise ships, it's because really it's in the aerosol of the vomit too. So when somebody vomits, it really can spread like wildfire, so to be careful with it.
So what's the treatment here? Is one different than the other?
Right, so for the norovirus, you want to do a bland diet, the brat diet as we call it, bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast, and replete all your electrolytes with Gatorade, a low sugar version if you need to, and really get the hydration. And then the influenza, the respiratory virus, if you know you have it, you could get Tamiflu, the medication, within 48 hours to shorten the course. And certainly that one we have a vaccine for, which we are encouraging especially elderly and children to still get.
Still get it.
Because we've had 15 deaths this season in children from the flu.
Nationwide?
Yes, nationwide.
And then is there any way to prevent this? We know about the flu shot, but
right.
What about norovirus?
Norovirus, you want to wash your hands very thoroughly. Alcohol sanitizer on your hands is not enough, so you really want to use soap and water and get in between your fingers. Do it for the full 2 rounds of singing happy birthday if you can, and really spray down your surfaces, doorknobs at work, and stay at home if you can from work, at least for 48 hours with the norovirus.
Because it is so contagious?
It is so contagious, and it, like I said, can be on any surface for quite some time, like up to 60 hours.
So if someone's calling your office, describes a norovirus, they're going to say, hey, can I come in? Can I get in to see you? You're going to say what?
I'm going to say try to stay at home, but if over 48 hours you are having extreme vomiting or signs of dehydration, then certainly we need to see you, maybe put an IV in, get some fluids.
Get those electrolytes.
Right.
You don't want to get dehydrated.
Right. Dehydration would be a risk with the norovirus. And certainly influenza.
Yeah.
We have to be careful with that. If you have high fevers over 102 for 4 or 5 days, you could have a secondary infection. We might need to see you to make sure you don't have pneumonia or bronchitis or sinus infections.
Right.
Thank you for explaining the difference. If you have a question for our experts, email them at asktheexpert@today'stmj4.com. You can also leave a voicemail. We have the number right there for you.